the past 15 years. So let's f***ing go. For today's DTP workout, we're going to be hitting delts and upper traps. Remember, DTP stands for Dramatic Transformation Principle. But to get the full breakdown on DTP, make sure you watch the overview video first before starting with any of these workouts. So the goal here today with the DTP shoulders is to leave no stone unturned. We want to hit every single muscle fiber from a different approach, being the high rep and the low rep principle. The first half of the DTP shoulder workout is going to look like this. We're going to be doing a superset meaning no rest at all in between exercises. And that first exercise is the military press behind the neck with a barbell with upright rows with a wide grip. We're going to be reaching failure at around 40 repetitions here. Rest for about 45 seconds and then hit set 2, which will be about 30 repetitions. So you're obviously going to have to increase the weight to make sure that you reach failure there. Supersetting again with upright rows. Set 3 will be 20 repetitions. Now you're going to increase the rest time to about a minute in between those supersets. And then set 4 is going to be 15 repetitions. And then the final set, set 5, is going to be your heaviest weight, and you're going to rest for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, where it's going to be 10 repetitions. Now that's the first half of the workout done. It's time to attack the second half of the workout with 2 different exercises, and we're going to go back up the reps the same fashion as we came down the reps in the first half of the workout. We're going to start off with the Arnold dumbbell press, and we're going to superset that with standing dumbbell shrugs. We're going to start off with 10 repetitions. Once we've done that superset on both exercises, we're going to rest for about 2 minutes. And so on set 7, we're going to be hitting 15 repetitions. Then on set 8, we're going to be reaching failure at 20. Set 9 will be 30, and then our final set, set 10, will be at 40 repetitions. Before we get into the shoulder workout, what I like to do is start with a trigger point therapy kit. The part of the kit that I like to use for my front delts specifically is the ball and the block. What I'm actually doing here is lying down, face down, with the ball right in the front part of the delt where it meets the pec muscles. But by doing this and breaking down the tissue, it will open up that area so you have a lot more flexibility. So you're just rolling back and forth slightly, moving the arm in a rotational movement until you find an area that is sensitive, and then you just roll out that area. And then once you've done one side, you move on to the next. So just before I get into the workout here, I like to stretch out specifically the front portion of the delts, because that's what gets extremely tight, especially when you're doing a pressing movement like behind the neck press. So I like to stretch out the delts from a couple of different angles, overhead and behind the back. During this time when I'm stretching, not only am I focusing on the physical aspect of what I'm about to go through, but I use this time to mentally get focused into the workout and get rid of anything that might be blocking my mind, whether it's work issues, relationship issues, whatever it may be. So as you can see on the first set here, I didn't quite reach failure at 40 repetitions. I didn't choose a heavy enough weight. I hadn't done this exercise for quite a while, so it was hard for me to gauge, but I still counted that as my set. So on the upright rows, you'll notice that I was taking a wide grip. This is to specifically target the rear delts of the shoulder muscle. And I was using a little bit of a swing, which is what I call control cheating, just to make sure that I have a little bit of give within my spine. If I go too strict on this movement, I'll feel more pressure within the joints as opposed to the muscles. So for the second set, I did increase the weight quite a lot, just to make sure that I reach failure at 30 repetitions. So if that happens to you, make sure you do the same. So what you're really going to experience here is mental fatigue, number one, but a lot of physical fatigue and a lot of cardiovascular fatigue, because you're not going to be probably used to these high reps with that amount of intensity. So So you're going to be gasping on some oxygen. That's why I always recommend that you hit a lot of cardio during this phase as well. So that weight was a little bit more suitable than before. So we're going behind the head with the press. If you've got very tight rotator cuffs, you've had previous injury there, then I do strongly suggest that you start off with doing some sort of manipulation beforehand. You'll notice that I didn't really stretch the muscles in between sets here. You know, I didn't stretch my shoulders out. Sometimes I do. In between every set, if I'm feeling a little bit tight there, I'll stretch in between every set just to make sure that I'm improving the elasticity of the muscle and the muscle fibers, specifically the webbing, which is the muscle fascia. But today I felt really good. I had a lot of elasticity there from doing the trigger point therapy. So, you know, if you feel a little bit tight in that area, I do recommend that you do stretch between every set. I'm starting to lengthen the rest time now. So the rest time initially was around 45 seconds, and then second set around a minute, and then the third now after the third, probably go for about a minute and a half. Now for set 4, I went too heavy. I reached failure way before the required 15 repetitions, and instead of just racking the weight, resting for a few seconds and then unracking and just getting out the 15 repetitions, I carried on, and I almost injured myself by doing that. So make sure that you do train smart, and if it is a little bit too heavy, just rack the weight, rest for about 5 seconds or so, make sure you've got your energy back so you can perform the amount of reps that you're supposed to target.